Okay, so obstacle limitation surfaces, chapter 4 of Annex 14. The last surface we covered was transitional surface. Moving on to the next in sequence, inner transitional surface, which is defined as a surface similar to the transitional surface but closer to the runway. If you take a look at this diagram, two parallel lines drawn parallel to the center line of the runway in the transitional surface are depicting inner transitional surface. Zooming in for further detail, just like the transitional surface, inner transitional surface also has two edges, the lower and the upper. So the lower edge begins at the end of inner approach surface and extends down the side of inner approach surface to the inner edge of that surface. And from there along the strip parallel to the runway centerline to the inner edge of the bulk landing surface, and from there up the side of the bulk landing surface to the point where the side intersects the inner horizontal surface. Since we have not covered yet the bulk landing surface, that would be covered in the next video, and I'll explain in the next video. While the upper edge of inner transitional surface is located in the plane of inner horizontal surface. Now the point is, this inner transitional surface extends upward with a slope of 33.3%, while the transitional surface was having a slope of 14.3%. This means that this inner transitional surface allows more obstacles nearer or closer to the runway. This is also important to highlight that inner transitional surface is only part of Precision approach runways and not required for non-instrument or any other runway. Now here a question comes in mind, why there is a surface allowing more obstacles nearer to the runway while the runway is also Precision approach. So I'll explain it, but before that, just take a look at this profile view of inner transitional surface. The two diagonal lines in yellow color, they are marking the inner transitional surface with somewhat higher or steeper slope, that is 33.3%. So the reason this slope is quite steeper and allows more obstacles nearer to the runway is because the inner transitional surface is intended to be the controlling obstacle limitation surface for navaids, aircraft and other vehicles that must be near the runway and which is not to be penetrated except for frangible objects. While the transitional surface we explained in the last video, that is intended to remain as the controlling obstacle limitation surface for buildings, etc. Okay, so any glide path antenna, any radar antenna, localizer, or Precision approach radar antenna, or any other essential aerodrome obstruction that has to be near to the runway, even the holding aircraft, they would hold at its inner transitional surface. I hope everything was clear. Thank you.